Chasing Yonci. You'll be able to see the chats. I don't answer any questions on Instagram. I do answer on YouTube. YouTube is set up. You guys, oh man, I can't check the camera before I go on. So it looks terrible. The light is behind me, which from a lighting perspective is like the worst thing you can do. So pardon me. Let me switch my chair around here. All right, so the lighting is terrible, but you guys can see me. Y'all know how I am. All right, so I started on Instagram, so they already know the drill, but I'm going to be talking to you guys here on YouTube as well. Please drop your city and state. Let me know where you're watching from. And I always want to know if this is your first time watching or not. If it's your first time watching, comment newbie. If you have been to at least one live stream, comment OG. And I'm going to shout out the people on Instagram who are already watching while those of you come over. Hey, Blondie. She said she's in Jacksonville, Florida. Good morning. All right, so let's see. Let's shout out a couple people and then we're going to just dive right in. We have an OG from It's Kenny. An OG in Maryland. Hey, she's Meek. Artwit, she says, oh, a newbie in Philly. Hey, newbie, first timer. Ad Hemphill said, oh, yes, you are. He said, I'm an OG. Yes, you are. She is an ATL. It's Kenny's, or is that a guy? Sorry, the pictures are small. I'm assuming Kenny is a guy. Oh, we have a newbie. Hey, Gordon and BK. What is BK? Is that Brooklyn? I don't know. I'm guessing. Acker Karen says an OG from Waveland. Let's see. What else do we have? First timer. Hey, Maria. Okay. So quite a few. So I'm sorry I can't say hello to everybody. Let me get back to YouTube. We have Banning, California. You know I'm biased, Lamar, for California. Welcome. And we have a newbie in Atlanta. Hey, Terrence. Thank you so much. You guys, I'm tempted to pull this curtain a little bit because is the lighting bugging you guys? Let me know on YouTube. It's not bad on Instagram. Instagram looks fine. But on YouTube, it looks like a bad 80s video. If it's bugging you, comment, change your lighting. If it's not, I'm not going to stress out. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm trying to move it just a little bit. I don't know. This is probably like my issue, no one else's. But let me know if I'm doing too much by worrying about it. Okay, so really quick, you guys. I am biased for California because I am a Cali native. Was born and raised there. But as of this weekend, I am now a Texas native. So I am in the state of Texas. It's so crazy. Thank you so much, Mr. Hemphill. I'm a Texas native. It's crazy. Lamar says the lighting is fine for me. Oh, good. I'm glad it's not that bad. It's not the best. But I am a native. I'm now a resident officially. My wonderful guy schlepped me all the way from California to Texas, which was a really long drive. And it was insane because as we were going, oh, good. She said, I've been following Allison too. She's awesome. The time said like, I think 19 something or maybe it said 21, whatever the time was, it just kept adding as we were going. So I don't know if it was traffic or whatever, but what's crazy is we had no traffic driving through all the states. Literally the second we crossed the state line for Texas, within 5 seconds, we hit traffic. It was crazy because we always talk about how bad the traffic is here. I thought it was bad in LA. It was bad here. So now I'm in Texas and I'm really excited to have my stuff. Now I have my YouTube lights and all my equipment and things like that. So I'm going to get it set up. I found myself a place. For those of you who are asking, I got a place here and I'm super, super excited. It's going to be really close to my guys so we can still hang out and do whatever. But that's the tea. And what I'm going to be working on is putting together a vlog. I've shot a lot of stuff. I just haven't had time to edit it because my editing equipment was in California and I'm not about to try to edit a full video on my phone. So those of you who are watching and are interested in following our story, me and my guy, you guys have been really excited on Instagram, which is awesome that you're excited like me. You want to stick around on YouTube and watch the vlogs because you just get little video clips with a lot of times just text over the screen. You're going to actually get to hear from us and talk and all that. Excuse me. She said, are you in Dallas? I am now. Not literally right now. I'm actually somewhat out of town at an event right now, but it is, I am now residing in Dallas. All right, guys, I said we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. So more of that, just join my YouTube. By the way, those of you watching who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, There's like 30 of you roughly on Instagram. Put me if you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Put no if you're not. And then if you're not, just sign up after this, right? I used to be really good putting like 2 videos a week, and I slacked off, and now I'm gonna be doing different content. You guys are so cute on YouTube talking about me. I hope you're subscribed on here. We love to see you and love. Thank you, Lamar. And Lamar is really special because he is in my Facebook group, which is the original group where this wasn't a brand. It was just me having fun. And he ended up meeting his wife in there, and they were so sweet, invited me to their wedding. So pretty cool story. And now it's finally my turn. She said, so happy for you. Yay. Thank you. Oh, 2 of you are subscribed. 3 of you subscribed to my YouTube channel. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Oh, you guys. Okay. So I always say I got like church announcements, right? So mark your calendars. August 26th, if you are in the Dallas area, or you can easily get to the Dallas area, or if you can't easily get to it, but you just really want to come, I'm hosting an event. I'm so glad that my buddy, he just really, we'll call him Willie because he doesn't like to put his government name on social media. But he was like, put my feet to the fire and really pushed me to do my event, which I keep saying, oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So I'm really glad he pushed me. By the way, those of you watching on YouTube, please click the like button. It's because YouTube just needs to know you guys like this so that it pushes it to more people. And you might have to get out of the chat box if you're watching your phone to be able to see the like button, but just get out of the chat box, hit that like button, and then come right back in the chat and keep talking to me, please. I would really appreciate it. Good. They're going up. Okay. So anyway, August 26th is the event date. I have a venue right now. I have to confirm it with them, but I'm excited because it's a very laid back space. We're going to be able to play dominoes, spades. There's music. They typically have a live DJ. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Have a live DJ. And it's just a chill vibe. There's an indoor-outdoor space. And so it's just really comfortable. You don't have to get super dressy. I don't want the women super uncomfortable, but if you want to wear your uncomfortable heels, I won't stop you, right? So make sure you save the date. August 26th, August 26th, August 26th, August 26th. That is happening. Really excited. We're going to hang out. It's been a long time since I did a meet and greet, and I've never done a meet and greet with my guys. So Monte is going to be there. You guys are going to get to meet him if you guys want to come hang out. So that's that. August 26th. All right. Somebody comment that in YouTube, please. August 26th. Dallas. And so if you guys are watching this in the future, this is the year 2023. So sorry if you're watching this later. It's not your August. Okay. The second thing you need to keep track of is, drum roll, please, brand new webinar coming out. So those of you who have already done my other 2 webinars and you've been asking me about when's your next one, I'm doing another one. And this one is going to be the very last day of the month. It's August 31st. Okay. If you're just now tuning in on Instagram, I'm looking at my camera on YouTube. That's why I'm not looking at y'all. Feel free to come over here if you want. Come with YouTube if you want to see the comments and everything like that and get that good eye contact. But August 31st, I'm doing my next webinar, and this is what it is, okay? Sometimes, you might see a somewhat big ticket item and think, I don't know if I want to invest. I don't know if this is for me. I'm going to be pissed if I don't feel like I got my money's worth. So I am doing a little sample platter of my course, my crash course on dating. It's called Dating 101. And this is a little bite size, would you say, or should you say, a bite size sampling of my course, which is 3 modules. It's 4.5 hours long. There are 50 worksheets and things like that. But maybe you're like, I want to test it out first. So I'm going to be doing an hour-long webinar for those, and we're going to do little samplings through each of the modules. And so the different modules are going to be getting mentally prepared to date, all the stuff that needs to happen internally before you even step your foot off the curb into the dating streets. 2, understanding the mind of a man and how they fall in love, because hello, if you don't understand that, how are you going to function? And then 3, femininity, okay, which is, it just needed its own module because it's a lot. So we're going to talk today a little bit about why I created this, and it will also help you to see if this is something that you need. Now, I do see a discrepancy between the number of likes and the number of viewers. So if you are enjoying this, only if you're enjoying this, please go ahead and hit that like button. It tells YouTube that it should push this out to more people. This is content people are enjoying. If you guys are liking it on Instagram, drop a heart for me, something. Let me know you're enjoying this. We're going to get into it, y'all. I really prepare. I don't just go off the top of my head. So we're going to get into it. Here's the thing that you're going to get with me. Thank you. One other person hit the like button. Let me get a little beverage. Gotta drink my water. One thing, if you're new, I know a couple of you said you're new to me. I do not pander. Okay. There are a lot of people who are in this space to make money. And I will be very honest. Statistically, women spend. Women spend money. They're emotional creatures. You say the right things and all that. She said, I think I need a course on femininity. Then come through natural beauty. Um, there are a lot of there's money to be made. Oh my goodness, A5 Kingdom. Thank you so much. He got a I always forget what it's called it's on YouTube. Super chat, I believe it's called. He sent me a $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Morning, sis. He said blessings to you. Thank you so much, sir. Um, but women, we can be a little bit emotional. We can be emotional spenders. We spend a lot of money, especially in the marketplace of self-help and relationships and things like that. So unfortunately, there are a lot of people who come in like wolves and they're just trying to clean up. We have all seen it. Now, there are some men, if anytime women try to help women or men try to help women, they'll be like, oh, you're a pander. Rah, rah, rah. But there really are panders, okay? These are the earmarks of a pander. So if you're following an account and you hear these things, I'm telling you, you are getting pandered to and you're going to feel good. The Bible calls it itching ears, right? They're like tickling your itching ears, but you're going to stay single. You're going to be miserable if you want a relationship. Being single will make you miserable, right? If you want a relationship, you're going to be frustrated. Here are some of the telltale signs. They always say that men are the problem, no matter what happens. No matter what the issue is, no matter what the situation, they're always going to say men are the problem. Lamar, you hit the nail on the head. They don't teach accountability. That's the first thing, okay? So that is a problem. Um, that is an absolute problem. So should you always be the problem? No. Nobody should be beating you over the head and you feel depressed watching someone's channel or listening to their content. No, but you should listen and be like, is everything I'm doing great? Because in reality, you should always be growing. You should always be developing. You should always be getting better. I think I'm pretty amazing in a relationship. I do. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. It's just not me bragging. I just really do because I put in the freaking work. But guess what I do? I check in regularly with my guy because I know there's always something I can level up. If you saw an area I can level up in, you saw my video from yesterday. I was singing Monte's praises because I was saying how he's so sweet. If it were up to him on a road trip, he would just be vibing out with music, just kind of chilling, making small talk. I like getting into the nitty gritty. I like having deep conversations. And so I had a whole book and it was full of questions. And one of the questions was about annoyances. And I was like, what things do I do that annoy you? And it was cool. He was able to share certain things that maybe he doesn't love and that I can work on. They weren't big things. But I was able to explain like why I do certain things, and then figure out a middle ground. Like, okay, I'm doing it for this healthy reason, but maybe the way I'm doing it isn't the most loving or not loving, something that you love. Maybe it comes across as like a little bit annoying. So what can we do and improve it? And then boom, solution, right? But I had to start with the mindset that maybe I'm not perfect. We had that joke yesterday. He was like, neither of us are perfect. Da, da, da. And I was like, wait, whoa, speak for yourself. And but he said, you're as pretty close to perfect as I could ever ask for. So that's pretty cool. That was a brag. Okay. Anywho, the point is that if you're following a page that is always telling you how great you are, always telling you that the men are the ones that need to adjust, red flag, red flag, red flag. Okay. Where did you get the book of questions? It's actually posted in my story for just a little bit longer. But I'll be generous and tell you the name. It's Don't You Dare Get Married Until You Have Asked These Questions. And it's a book of 500 questions. Excuse me. But for those of you who are following me, you could look at my story today and it should be there for a couple more hours. But I love it because it has different sections you can go through and ask different questions. Anywho, what was I saying? So that's one of the things that you're going to get with me. If you're new to my page, you might not know this. I teach accountability. Not everyone likes it. I've had to kind of learn how to work my words and finesse because it will piss off some women. But I want, at the end of the day, people to know what to do to be not only in a relationship, but be in a successful relationship and be in a relationship where the guy is really happy too, because that contributes to you being in a happy relationship. I mean, being successful. Is the book only for people who are about to get married, or is it also good for singles? Oh, I used it with everyone, like anyone I was getting to know. So this isn't like you're preparing for marriage with this person. It's getting to know the person, which allows you to vet, which I am a huge, huge proponent of, and that's one of the videos that I put out today. It's talking about vetting. It's our job to vet as women. As women, we are, I compare us to doors. Okay. A door is fixed. It stays where it is. It can only go two directions, but you can either open up and receive, or you can close off and deny. That is our job, as opposed to men who are proactively going out and seeking. Our job is to open or close, accept or reject. That is on us. So you want to be following somebody um, who's going to be holding you accountable. Shout out to Cruise Season. Love the collab we did the other day. Got not a lot of new faces because of it, so I really thank you. And you guys put out amazing content. I don't know which one of you is working the page right now, but shout out to whichever one of you on the panel is working it. They said it's better now. Yeah, because I adjusted the mic. Sorry. Okay, so that's a sign that someone's pandering. The other sign that someone's pandering is that they paint like a one-dimensional picture. Men are monolithic. Okay, men are monolithic. They're just like us. They're multifaceted. They are not just one-dimensional creatures. And there's usually reasons behind certain things. One of the reasons I want to talk about specifically today is uh, men who are supposedly not committal. Now, there are people, oh, thank you, love. There are people who are non-committal. There are men who are afraid of commitment. They just don't want to commit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. However, and I wouldn't say to go in there with this mindset of I'm going to change someone's mind. So please, please hear me when I say this. I'm in no way suggesting that if a guy says he's not interested in a relationship and just wants something casual, that you go, I think I can flip him. No, 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 no. No more than someone who says that they play for the other team. You wouldn't try to flip them. I would hope you would try to flip them, right? So what I'm saying is there are men who in their own mind could feel like they don't want to commit or they're not interested in marriage, but then they meet the one. They meet this chick who they are like, whoa, all of their fears go away. Because men are not naturally just anti-commitment. They're afraid of getting hurt. They're afraid of being bored. They're afraid of having their what's cut off because somebody is overly mothering and smothering them and all that. They are afraid of signing up for package A and getting package B. Okay. You thought you were getting the supreme pizza, hot and steamy, thick crust, and you got actually the freezer version, the frozen version with frostbite and super processed meat. Okay. I don't know. It was a weird metaphor, but a lot of times women will come in with one energy. And once she gets the commitment, whether it's a relationship or a ring, she switches it up and then the real her comes out. So again, a lot of men are not just scared of commitment. Oh, they commit to cars, they commit to houses, they commit to children, they commit to jobs, they commit to a lot of the tattoos. They're not just scared of commitment, they're scared of committing to the wrong person. So, that being said, a lot of times people who are bashing men and they're like, they just want to play around and all they want is to clap cheeks with as many women as possible and blah, blah, blah. And they're terrible and terrible and terrible and terrible. All they're doing is making you anti-men. All they're doing is putting this toxic energy out there that's going to make you have low expectations. And when you have low expectations, it kind of affects what you attract and how you think and how you move and all this jazz. So I didn't mean to go so long into my explanation about panders, but I just want you to know these are all things that I am very aware of, and I try extremely hard to not fall into those things. I do make my living, full disclosure, I do make my living 100% off of being a dating coach. So obviously there are things that I am selling or what have you, but my goal is to help people and to change their lives. I think it's a blessing that I can do something that I find fulfilling and I'm passionate about. It also happens to be something that fills somebody's need and I can make a living off of it. That is like the ultimate when it comes to your purpose. So that being said, we're going to talk about, sis, maybe you might be the reason you're still single. Okay. By the way, those of you watching on Instagram, how many of you are single? And feel free to come over to YouTube. The reason why I say this, and I'm fully transparent, YouTube takes care of content creators. You know what I mean? So if you guys are watching Instagram, you're getting the same content, but I don't get any benefit. You guys come on over to YouTube. We got sponsors, things like that will take care of it. So if you want to show a little bit of love, sorry, I'm hitting the microphone. You want to show a little bit of love, takes just 1 second to just swipe up and go to a different app. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you to you on YouTube because you guys have almost hit the same number of likes as viewers. So that means you guys are almost all doing it. So thank you. All right. Oh, did you guys know that there are 4 free coaching sessions that are about to be given away? You guys, I had like, actually, I should check really quick. Last time I checked, there were 70 people who signed up, but I haven't been promoting it lately. So I don't know if more people have joined, but let me just see. Let me know if you're single too, by the way. I'm waiting on Instagram for you guys to respond. Oh, okay. When I don't promote it, the number doesn't go up. So we're still at 72, but 72 people have signed up for the free coaching sessions. There was a gentleman, we'll just call him Willie, and he sponsored 4 sessions. And if you guys know my fee, it's not cheap. It's not crazy. Like I've seen people like charge thousands, but it's not crazy, but it's not cheap. And to buy 4, I'm like, hmm. He got 4 because a woman was saying that she was saving up. And so we were talking last week or something, and he was like, I just want to get 4 more. And I'm like, bruh, what? I mean, I block your blessing, my blessing, their blessing, but whoa. So he's planning to do that. And he wants me to give them away during my Dallas session, my Dallas event rather, but I'm going to save one and give it away because you guys have already been signing up and I know not all of you can get to Dallas. So 3 of you who come to my Dallas event are going to walk away with a free coaching session and one of you just in general with one. Okay. So I have one single person. We have 4 single people here, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So quite a few of you are single. Obviously, you're on a dating page, so I would hope most of you are single. But I get a lot of married people, surprisingly. I DM everybody who follows me and I ask them their status. And it's funny because a lot of people just read it or heart it. And I'm like, no, I'm a real person. I'm not a bot. But I always get confused when married people follow me because I'm like, why? I'm teaching you how to get married. So the answers are always interesting. Okay, so the first thing is that a lot of men are not always to blame. And the thing is that women just don't understand sometimes what attracts men and not attracts them. Like we've got that covered, right? We know, put the girls out, show a little leg, have something tight. Like we know how to be sexy. We know how to be attractive. A lot of us know how to, get our look together. And even though men aren't into makeup, we know how to put ourselves together, and become presentable. Physically, that's not a problem. And I just posted in my story the other day about a guy who was like, "Ugh," when you realize she's just physically attractive. Oh, I love that. Lamar says she has done her homework. She's not trying to hurt you. Knowledge empowers. Thank you, Lamar. He's been around for like 6, 8 years. I don't know. He's been around a while, right? So if I was just blowing smoke, it would have come out by now. So I like to flip this for those of you who maybe think like, I don't know, Yonci. Let me flip it. Have you ever been around a guy who was really handsome, right? Tall, maybe he had muscles, maybe he's dark chocolate, maybe that's your preference. Me, I like side teeth, subject verb agreement, just all that, right? So he's just this great guy, but he has no idea about romance. This guy maybe he jokes too much, or maybe this guy, he never plans ahead. He's just like at the spur of the moment, oh, let's go get ice cream. You're like, wow, would have been nice to know before I just made plans. So there could be this amazing guy or this attractive guy who's really, really fine, and he just doesn't get it, right? Maybe he's one of those people who can't recognize moments that are really sweet, and he says something and just ruins it. That is an example of someone being physically attractive, but not having the thing that makes you have the emotional connection. That is what I see a lot of times happening with women. And I know this for a fact because I will coach women and I will see what's happening in their DMs, or I will hear conversations and I'm like, oh my God, you just subconsciously told him you're not interested. Or he just completely was fishing for you to affirm him right there and let him know that he's on the right track. And you were like, or the worst, it made it seem like you weren't interested. Or just boring. I hate to say this, you guys, but that's one of the biggest things I hear men say. Some women are boring, and they're like, of course, these women always want to talk on the phone. They want to talk on the phone, and oh my God, we're just sitting there. She's giving one-word answers. I'm listening to just air, the sound of breathing. It's just boring. Hey, Lynette. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. We got a couple people who just joined it on YouTube, so please go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't done so already. You have to close the chat, get out of the chat box, and then click it if you're on your cell phone and come back in. Really helps me with YouTube. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be great. Thank you to everyone on Instagram who has come over to YouTube, or if you're going to, hint, 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 please come over to YouTube. It helps me so much when you guys come on YouTube because they take care of content creators over here. Thank you. I see the numbers going up on YouTube, and you guys are going to get eye contact if you go to YouTube. So thank you. Thank you. Um, what was I saying? So this is why I teach what I teach. Femininity is everything. Okay. So right now, I'm not necessarily like in my feminine because I'm teaching you guys. But if I was talking to a man, there would be a completely different vibe, right? So there are little things that you can do subtly. And it's not all sexual, right? It's just little things that you can do with body language. There are things that you can do with choices of words. Okay. Do you see? There are things that can be done. And I teach women femininity. And this isn't about playing games. This isn't about manipulating in a negative sense because manipulation tends to have a negative word, but you could manipulate a piece of paper. Patrice said, I'm here now. Yay. Thank you. I love it. Yes. Let me know when you've come from Instagram to IG. And also go ahead and click that like button, please, so that we can let YouTube know that I'm bringing the good stuff. Okay. Yay. The numbers are going down on Instagram. It's so funny when I say that because usually that's an issue. But yes, femininity is super important. And here's the thing. So masculine energy and feminine energy, think of it like a rubber band. Okay. Imagine a rubber band that is just right there. It's not stretched, right? There's no tension. It's not going to fly anywhere. Now, if you pull the woman's side towards femininity, so imagine femininity is here and masculine is here, and you pull the side of the rubber band towards femininity and you pull the man side towards masculinity, what happens? There's tension in the middle, right? It's really tense. That becomes sexual tension. That's what that dynamic is. And even though a couple might be a same-sex couple, you'll notice they still crave that dynamic, right? I always wondered that. I'm like, why is there always a femme guy and like a butchy guy, or a femme girl, a cis, what is a cis girl? I don't know what the terms are, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's never like two girly girls or two butch people, because that polarity, it's an energy thing, and it typically is in men. Men typically have like 80% masculine energy and they still have 20% feminine, and then women typically have 80% feminine and then 20% masculine. So if you don't believe in this stuff, I'm sorry for you because you're missing out on a lot of fun. There is an amazing dynamic that happens when you understand how to tap into that. What I love to do with my guy is to just really praise his masculine, right? And he's so cute. We were at the gas station filling up yesterday, and I was walking like I was so far. You know how far like the gas station building is from where the pump is, and I'm walking out at normal speed, and he comes sprinting like dramatically, right, and rushes to the side of the car to like open the door, and he's being funny, but it was so cute. But that's how he is. Like, I am not allowed to carry things, I'm not allowed to touch things like door handles and all that stuff. He stays in his masculine, which that is part of chivalry, right? But it's reminding him that that is something that I appreciate, and it encourages it to come out when we compliment and we affirm. I told him I am always going to say thank you. I don't care if we're 85 years old and it's your 745th door being opened for me. I want to say thank you because it is a privilege. It is not a right that I have. I am not entitled to it. It is something that he does and chooses to do, and the same thing for me. Um, I like to do a lot of little domestic things. If I happen to be there and I know he has something the next day, I don't mind ironing or something like that. And of course, when we're married, I will definitely do that. Cooking, I don't mind doing that. Even on the road trip, for example, if you guys know, like if someone gets a sandwich, you could do the unfolding. Like they can eat their own sandwich probably, but you can do the unfolding. You can make sure it's in a position where, he can easily eat it. I love catering to my man. I love being a helpmate, to use the biblical term. There are 16 of you on Instagram. Are any of you willing to come over to YouTube? Because I have sponsors here. And so the more viewers on this app, the more it helps your girl. So if you're willing to come over to YouTube, just slide on over to my YouTube page, just Chasing Yonci. You'll see the live stream there. Join me there. I would love that. Hey, Mr. Versailles, good to see you. So those are little things that you can do to make your guy feel good. There is a rule. If I have cooked for him, his buns cannot leave the seat. Buns must make contact with the seat at all times. There's no getting up for salt. There's no getting up for a refill of water. He needs to stay in that seat. And it works because we feel like we both are appreciated. So I have my things that I am a stickler on. Let me serve you. Let me cater to you. And he has his things that he's a stickler on. Let me serve you. Let me cater to you. I said, oh, yesterday we got in. He had to work on a presentation for work. I said, oh, I could start unloading stuff. It was like he physically couldn't let me do it. And it wasn't that the stuff was too heavy. He just something in him. He's like, my mom raised me right. But you want to do the same thing with masculine and feminine. The more you're into your feminine, the more they tap into their masculine. If you become in your masculine, excuse me, if you present masculine to a man, sometimes it's not usually that he will respond with feminine. Sometimes they can be more passive. It's like, I don't want any issues. And then now you're dealing with a guy who's not really assertive. But a lot of times what happens if masculine is met with masculine, it becomes combative. It becomes, this conflict, which men will have that. And it's okay. Like men compete, men want to be top dog. You don't want that energy in your relationship. Thank you, Rebecca. She came over from Instagram. I appreciate that. Blondie said, my guy is like that. I love it and appreciate it. Yeah, it's super necessary. So I want to teach women how to tap into your feminine. I'll give you one example. Something that is so simple. Smiling. Like, it's so simple. It is so simple. Have you ever heard a guy say, oh, why are you smiling all in that man's face? Right? I used to think like, why are men making such a big deal? Like, why do they get so jealous if a woman smiles at a man? It's because they know that it is kryptonite. Something about us making eye contact and smiling, it's inviting, it's warm, and you think about it, men, and I never really thought about it till right now as I'm saying it. Men don't walk around smiling at each other. They're not like, hey, buddy. Like, they'll do like this, right? They're not like these big smilers. So something that maybe we don't think about, I smile all the time. I have to actually check myself now that I'm in a relationship because I'll walk around like I look like a Walmart greeter. That's just my normal default setting. But smiles are so inviting. So little things that you might not realize you're doing or not doing could be causing an issue. You might be a beautiful woman, but you might have an what is it? RBF, a resting, you know what face. You have to watch that. You really have to watch that. Maybe the pictures that you're posting, maybe you think you look sexy and you're doing all these scowl faces and you think they're looking cute. Men want to feel invited and they want to feel the warmth. That's why they like to be around us. They're more black and white, more cold typically, and we're warm and inviting and colorful. So they want to have access to that. All right, we have 12 more people watching than likes. So if we could just take a second and get those likes up. Do 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 do. That actually worked. If you don't know how to do it, get out of the chat box, close the chat box, hit that like button, please. Take a little water break. You guys, it was crazy. We were in Arizona, and his job gave him this water bottle. I don't even know the name. I need to know the brand. And the temperature was over 100 degrees. It was over 100 all throughout the night. We ended up staying at his family's house. And so we left the truck outside, came back the next morning, okay? There was ice in his cup. There was ice in his cup inside of a car, which gets hotter than outside, inside of the car, and it was over 100 degrees outside. I was like, doggone, I need to invest in that brand. It has nothing to do with the conversation. Just thought about that when I was taking a sip of water. All right, we're 6 away. Are there 6 of you who haven't hit the like button on YouTube? If you're still watching on Instagram, please consider coming over to YouTube. They take care of us over here. So if you wouldn't mind, you don't have to give a tip. They will. So please come on over. First thing on, DOD before coming in the chat. Thank you. She hit it before coming in there. All right. So yay, we're getting them up. We're getting them up. We're still 5 short, but hey, I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't liking it. You're just sitting there watching it. So anyway, there are things that we need to do as women. The other thing is that, and this is what inspired Module 1. Module 1 for the course or the webinar that I'm doing this month, at the end of the month, August 31st, mark your calendars. is helping women to do the work internally. Almost every single client I've had, I don't know if I've ever had a client who hasn't done therapy also. Typically, they will do therapy, which kind of gets you from negative 10 to 0. Like now we're at a good starting place. And coaching takes you from 0 to wherever your goal is. People will either do it in before they get to me or do it hand in hand. And there's usually this cohesiveness. Though I don't know the therapist. We're typically kind of covering the same grounds, but I'm more specifically talking about areas of relationships. There's a lot of internal work that has to be done to be able to be successful in dating. The YouTube channel, same as my Instagram, just chasing Yonci. Thank you for asking. Um, I got married when I was 23. My parents were really, really strict. Thank you, Rebecca. Um, my parents were really strict, so I didn't date in high school, didn't date in college, and so my marriage was basically my first relationship. And there was so much stuff that I didn't realize, I needed to work on. I needed to develop as a person. And so the last, I was married for 12 years, and then I spent 8 years being single and just really, really working on myself. One thing, for example, was self discipline. Oh, it says can't hear you, cutting in and out. Huh. Oh, that wouldn't even be the microphone because I'm not using a microphone for YouTube. Testing, testing, testing. It might be because of where I am. There isn't great Wi-Fi. So I'm sorry if it's cutting in and out. Um, oh, you guys are all saying that. Um, she said, "Who this topic?" How are you guys doing on Instagram? Can you hear okay on Instagram? I got about the last 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so I wonder what was the last thing you guys heard? Do you remember what the last thing you heard? I was talking about doing the work, and I didn't date. My marriage was basically my first relationship. Did you guys hear all that? Um. All right, 42. Oh my goodness, you still can't hear. Okay. Uh. Oh, you can't hear on YouTube. Just came over from IG. I can hear you clearly. No lagging. Sound is fine. Oh, it's good now. Okay, good, 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 good. Okay, so if any of you guys jump back to Instagram, please go ahead and come back to YouTube. Thank you. I don't know what's going on. It was funny because I'm at a hotel right now, and they're like, you can get free Wi-Fi. If you actually want like high quality, you have to pay $6. I'm like, who does that? Oh yeah, they jumped from. I see the numbers jump down like 10 people left. All right. So yes, I came from YouTube. Oh, good, good, good. Okay. So go ahead and go back to YouTube, please, you guys. They said it's fine over here. They said I can hear you clearly. I can hear you. It's good now. Blah 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 blah. All right. So come on over. Come on over. Come on over. I'll wait a second for those of you coming over so you don't miss anything. All right. You're back clearly now. Thank you, Camila. Yeah, I can't wait for my Dallas event. I'm so excited. So excited to see you guys. It's different. I used to travel from LA to Dallas. That's why I fell in love with Dallas. But Dallas and Atlanta and do events and stuff. And it was just so cool finally seeing people in person. Travis says, I hope all is well, everyone. Thank you. That's very sweet. Y'all aren't coming back. Y'all aren't coming back to YouTube. Come on back to YouTube, please. Okay. So where was I? So doing the work. So for me, I realized there were a lot of things that I had to work on. Y'all are really just jumping off of YouTube. Really? Going to Instagram. I could see the numbers going down here and up here. But I had to do work on myself. Like, for example, I realized I wasn't disciplined. I really wasn't disciplined. And how that manifested itself was my house was a mess. Someone came by, God forbid, unannounced. I was like, oh my God, scrambling, trying to clean up. Don't judge me, but I'd leave dishes overnight. I didn't feel like doing them that night. I'd do them the next day. Or, if I went on a trip, I'd come home and I wouldn't put my stuff away for like 2 weeks. And I just got to the point where I was like, I want to be better. I want to be a better person for myself. First and foremost, first and foremost, I also realized that I didn't have a lot of emotional control. Like I would really get frustrated. I had a hard time biting my tongue. I would just be overwhelmed with emotion. So lots of things that I had to do to develop into who I am today. And trust me, my guy is very grateful. And it's funny because different people that I would date would be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're single," or "Your ex is crazy that he let you go." Because I walked away and I was like, I was not this version of myself. She said I had to go out and come back because I couldn't hear you. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. Um, so anyway, that's what I want to show you guys. So in module 1, for those of you who are just tuning in and hearing this, I have a course, Dating 101. It's been up for a while, but it is a little bit more expensive. And so I understand that, some people might be new and wondering, like, is this good stuff? So I decided to do a mini course, a mini webinar, or I guess it would be a mini course, which is a webinar on what I cover in that. So it's, of course, not going to be the 4.5 hours. You're not going to get the 50 plus worksheets, but we're going to cover a lot of the stuff kind of with a broad brushstroke, like a Cliff Notes type of version. Hey, love. Hey, Sovereignness. Nice to have you back. We're going to cover it so you guys can see what's really meaty in the course itself. And so the first one is getting mentally prepared to date. So we're going to talk about that. How to build your confidence, how to know what to look for in a man, what are red flags, green flags. We're going to really have you set up for success, because if you're not ready, you could come across somebody who is a very qualified candidate, but he's going to back away because you don't have enough to attract him beyond the physical. And then you're going to put him in a category and say, oh, he's just scared of commitment, which we started out. It's not always that. A lot of times the guys just don't tell you it's you, honey. These guys who don't want to commit to you, you break up and 6 months later they're engaged. Okay. What is the date and what platform? Oh, okay. So yes, I got to remind people because not everyone has been on from the beginning. So the date for my webinar is the very last day of the month, August 31st. It's a Thursday and it's at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. In the description of the video, thank you for saying that because I forgot to mention this. In the description of the video on YouTube, those of you who are watching on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. There is a link, and that is how you can register. So you could sign up. It asks for like your email address. Oh yeah, she said she's still waiting the NYC event. I heard that. You can sign up. It just asks for your email address and your Instagram name, and it shows you how to do your payment to reserve your seat. But we have a lot of fun. Anyone who has been to one of my webinars who's on here can tell you we have a lot of fun. Like, I'm pretty casual and laid back in my live streams, but I really let my hair down in the webinars. And so I encourage you to have fun. I don't care if you have a glass of wine, a little cocktail, whatever. We have fun. And it's just like a bunch of girls hanging out, giving you the tea, like auntie vibes, big sister vibes, whatever. So make sure you come to that. Super inexpensive. Oh, and if you have not gotten my other two webinars, there is thank you, love. I love it. She's my scribe. Oh, it's your first live. Love, love, love to have you. Thank you. We got a newbie in the house. Everybody say hey to Andrea. Hope I'm saying your name right. What was I going to say? Oh, so this is what I'm doing as a promo. So if you get the webinar, you can also get my other two webinars for half off. Okay. So if you get the one and you've already been wanting to get the other ones and you don't want to miss it because everything covers a little bit something different, you guys can get the others for half off. And so between now and the webinar date, I'm going to have that offer be good for the month of August. So we have my secret flirting technique, which is literally the thing that I did. I came across it on this website. I was like, I wonder if this works. Let's test it out. I was on a dating app and I wanted to stick out because I would get people swiping on me, but it's like the conversation wouldn't go anywhere. And so I tried this technique and boom, it was like, it just started changing everything. And it ended up being the very thing that got my guy's attention. He was howling when I did it. He's like, oh my God, this was amazing. And he tells the story all the time. And it's literally what made him be like, hold on. Because he was just on there just messing around. He's like, I just did it for fun. Like, it's something to pass the time. I hate it when guys do that, right? But as I said before, it's not about changing people's minds, but sometimes you could change somebody's mind by being awesome. So I teach that specific technique. And on that video, I go into like great detail on giving examples and how to do it, blah, blah, blah. There have been people who have been doing it. They send me the screenshots. It is amazing. They start getting phone calls, asking on dates. It's just dope. And it's just learning how to tap into what makes men go, oh. So that's my one. The code word is secret. If you've ever seen me promoting something and I say, DM me the word secret. The other one is the code word magnet, and that's how to be magnetically attractive, how to go beyond the physical attraction and really bring a guy in. And so those two webinars, if you've been wanting to see those and you haven't, you can get either one or both for half off. Okay. So that's that. In addition to the mini course. Okay. So the link is in my YouTube. I also will be posting it in my Instagram story. And so you guys can get the link there. Okay. So working that out, internal issues. Oh, a lot of you will self-sabotage. There was somebody who was talking about how she's never been in a hypergamous relationship, which if you don't know about hypergamy, it's wanting to be with someone who is beyond you, like beyond your income level, maybe beyond your social status, is someone who's above. Sometimes people will just deal with fixer upper guys because you don't want to feel insecure. Maybe you like feeling like the big dog. That's going to completely change the dynamic of the relationship. It's not going to be enjoyable for you long term. And so if you haven't done the work, you are going to be triggered by a healthy relationship. If you have only been in toxic relationships, um, you're going to feel like good relationships, perhaps you're going to feel that they're boring. So doing that internal work is really, 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 really helpful. Okay. Um, the other thing that a lot of women do who haven't done the work is they are so thirsty for a relationship that they give off needy vibes. So the guy might be interested, he might like her personality, but then she will do things that make him just go ick and want to be away from her. And so she's now ruined the potential for an amazing situation. Just like you might have a guy who's really, really cool, but suddenly he starts acting jealous or territorial or paranoid and just constantly asking for affirmation. And you're like, ugh, I was feeling you, but you just made yourself not attractive. So you want to make sure you're not doing those things. And that's what I'm going to work with you women on. I already talked about the feminine energy thing. That's another module that I'm covering, how to be feminine. This is going to be from dressing. How do you dress in a way where you look feminine versus looking sexual? I told you before, men will put you into two categories. She said you're a whole cheat code. He said you're a whole cheat code now. Thank you, Lamar. Men will put you in two categories if they find you attractive. So what happens is he has an involuntary reaction. He will see you and whoop, he's like, whoa, his brain registers you as physically attractive, someone I want to sleep with, right? So that's the very first step. It's involuntary. It just happens. Oh, locks in. At that moment, in a split second, he determines, is this the type of woman that I want to take home to mom? I want to pursue her, possibly make her my lady. I saw her and I knew that was going to be my wife one day. Or does he want to take you home to bed? Two totally different energies. Same woman, same instance, but immediately he's like, that looks like a wife. That looks like a good time. Okay. So you want to know how to dress to where he doesn't put you in this category, because I'm sure that's not what you want if you're following my page. How to dress. I will give you specific rules. I give photos like of outfits and things like that. And I give the rule on how to dress and why. Go over mannerisms. Okay. Maybe you were not raised, like I had the luxury of, attending etiquette school, and I ended up being an instructor, when I was much younger. But there are ways to get out of a car. There are ways to sit in a seat. There are ways to sit in a chair. There are ways to eat. There are ways to move in such a way that is feminine and graceful and dainty. You're going to get all this. Okay. She said, classy, not trashy. I know that's right, girl. Let's see. So femininity, behavior. I'm going to go over behavior. And your physical appearance, and then your mindset, because femininity is also a mindset. I think I talked about already about not being prepared to date. This is a webinar for you if you do not know how to vet men. So this is a pet peeve of mine, where a woman will tell a story, and as she's telling the story, she's describing red flag after red flag after red flag after red flag, and then her question is like, how do I keep him around? Or how do I convince him that I'm, and I'm like, that's like fishing and catching, an old shoe or a tree branch. And you're like, how do I reel it in? Like, why would you want that? Like, throw that back. She said, I'm late to the party. Hey, Yonci. Hey, Jessica. Nice to have you, love. So you want to make sure that you know what to look for. And also there's a way. So you might know what to look for, but you might not know how to ask. For example, you might be talking about something because you're trying to vet him, but you're actually letting him know, these are the things that I'm looking out for. And then he's going to make sure he doesn't do that. You don't want to give your hand, show your hand. The other thing is sometimes you guys will be talking about all the things that you went through, thinking he's going to be like, oh, she went through all that, so I don't want to put her through that. Not realizing that toxic men go, oh, you went through all that? No, that means you allowed men to do that, which means I can get away with a lot. You have to know how men listen to what's being said. You have to know how to act on dates 1 through 3 from a principles perspective. This isn't a step 1, say this, step 2, say this. You need to understand conceptually what men who are quality men are thinking and what men who are players are thinking. You have to have your head on a swivel. I remember growing up, my dad, I was very lucky, very blessed that I had a dad a brother, have a dad, have a brother who gave me the game. They gave me the game. The only thing they couldn't give me was the confidence. If I had had the confidence and just the emotional intelligence, I would have been bad. But just with their information, I landed a one percenter. Like I landed a 6'3" ex athlete, handsome, financially secure. Like I got that guy. I was able to land him, but I didn't understand, you know, a lot of things that I needed to understand. There's a lot you need to understand about the male mind, how he's perceiving you. Um, there's a lot. So, ladies, I'm telling you, and this stuff is going to change everything. Look at my story highlights. It says testimonials. You will see not only the results, but how quickly women get results by just adjusting one or two things. Drop me a yes if this is something that you're interested in doing, because a lot of work goes into doing these webinars. And so I don't want to put one together if it's something that you're like, meh, that's not really something relevant for me. Drop me a yes if that's something that you're interested in watching. And guys, y'all, it's super inexpensive. Guys, if you want to flex, I'm telling you, the guy who goes by Willie, he got so much attention by sponsoring coaching sessions. And I'm not saying you have to dig in your pockets for a coach because that's a lot. But the webinars, those are very inexpensive. If any of the men want to sponsor a webinar, DM me, just the word sponsorship, and then I will promote you in my stories. I might even do a story highlights. You guys can live on forever. But if you want to sponsor one, you could do it because of the good karma. It's good to just pay it forward. But you also will look like a stud, right? The ladies were like, swoon when Willie did it. So if the men want to do that, let me know. Ladies, comment yes if this is something that you would be interested in. If this is the type of course material that you'd be interested in. Um, we have one person saying yes on YouTube, one person saying yes on Instagram. I know it's the middle of the workday. It's not the best time to be like going on live right now, but let me know. And then guys, slide in my DM with the word sponsorship if you would like to sponsor a woman to be able to go to this webinar. I'm telling you, you are investing in your own future. Okay, I've had guys be like, can you send me the list of the ones who take your femininity course? So a lot of these women are good girls. They just need a little bit of fine tuning. It's like having a car that's like really, really dope. They just need some new tires, maybe a little buffering, what have you. Okay, we're getting more yeses on Instagram, more yeses on YouTube. Okay, good. Because I'm putting this together, guys. I pour out my heart in these things. So that's important. Also, if you don't do the work and you don't know how to vet men, you can't tell the difference between a qualified guy and an unqualified guy, or maybe you keep turning men off, you're going to start to get discouraged. You might already be discouraged, and you might start to feel like these men don't exist. They're just not out there. All these guys are just trying to waste my time. And then you give off this funky energy, and now it's this like horrible, vicious cycle. They said, how do you pick the women? Right now, I have a, there's this, why am I struggling with basic words? There is a random picker that I use on this random website. I used to use it at my old job, and you put all the names in there and just hit a button, and it just randomly pulls up a name. So that's how I pick out the woman who gets it. But yes, this is important. So kudos to you, ladies. I'll be wrapping in the next 5 minutes. Kudos to you, ladies, who are listening to this, because you could be listening to, anybody just stroking your ego and saying, yes, queen, any man who doesn't recognize your worth isn't worth your time. And instead you're listening to somebody who's asking you to take accountability. Not only take accountability, but invest in yourself. Like you're putting your money where your mouth is. I have yet to have someone say this was a waste of my time. I keep getting like, I didn't know what to expect, but this blew me away. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this to make you comfortable, in doing this. You will not regret investing in yourself. For me, specifically, the work that I did, and it's funny because Monte was like, once he finally found out what I did, he's like, did you use any like techniques on me? And I thought, well, no, it wasn't like I had pickup lines or things like that. I said, but absolutely the stuff that I've learned from men is something that I've just taken on as this is me. Just like in sales, you've learned certain sales techniques and certain things about human nature that helps you to do your business. But at the end of the day, are you trying to scam people? Are you trying to, make them buy something that they don't want? No. I am trying to be the best version of a woman possible so that I can make a man deliriously happy. And I'm telling you, can I get a little sappy right now, you guys? Hello, Mr. Dash. I waited so long for this man. Okay, you might have been new to my page, and you might be like, "Oh, good for her, she found love." No, 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 no. I don't go into detail about my marriage because I feel like it's not my place to tell someone else's story. But I will just say that I struggled big time. I battled clinical depression. I had anxiety, which I refused to take medication for, but it was very traumatizing. I would hyperventilate. I had nonstop crying spells. Like it was bad. I was tired all the time. I was miserable and I filed for divorce. And I thought, oh, I get hit on all the time. It's going to be easy to meet a man and like get in a relationship. 8 years later, it was not easy. And it wasn't because I had kids, which is what most people act like, oh, you're divorced, you have kids. It wasn't that. I just did not understand what made men want to commit and what turned them off. And so once I um, started to learn those things, it started to be a lot easier. And then you start to have your stuff together, but then you're not meeting guys who are qualified. Or I would meet a lot of guys who were just struggling financially, which they're great guys, but most masculine men are not comfortable dating and because there's too many things you have to pay for. It's just too hard. Um, and so there was a struggle. So I really had to work on embracing my singleness, refusing to lower my standards, continuing to push forward. And I'm like encouraging women every day. Meanwhile, I'm single and hating it, right? Not like I was miserable in life, but I did not want to be single. I knew from like the earliest memory I have is like probably 5 years old. I wanted to be married then. I was a hater looking at my parents like, ew. You always have someone to sit on the couch next to. You always have someone to sleep next to. I always was aware that I was half of a partnership. I was always aware of this. And so for me, it was difficult. I never acted like it was easy to be single, but I was never desperate to where I'm going to just be in a relationship just so I could have a man. Um, Someone said, "How long have you had y'all been dating before making it official?" You guys, I hate to say this because it goes against everything I teach, but I also teach women understand principles and trust your intuition if you want to veer from it and be accountable to take the responsibility if things go combust. We were communicating for 48 hours when Monte wanted me to be his lady. We were communicating for 48 hours, and I was like, no, let's wait at least 30 days and one visit because we were long distance. And he was like, okay. He was fine. He was like, okay. And then I caved 7 days later. So we were a week into communication, talking for 7 days straight, multiple hours every night on FaceTime. And yeah. And as you can see, 3 months later, I moved to Dallas. Now, let me give you a little context. She said, when you know, yes, that you desire partnership. Absolutely. Let me give you some context. I do not recommend people uprooting their lives, especially having children, and moving across state for a boyfriend. Okay. I do not recommend that. If anyone wants to be my scribe and type it, double down. I am not recommending that. Let me explain what my situation was. I already wanted to move. I already wanted to move. I had visited Dallas and Atlanta multiple times. Love the vibe. Have lots of friends here. I have a community here. Okay. And I wanted to move to this area. And I purposely toggled my location between Atlanta and Dallas. So this was something that, excuse me, was calculated, and I knew that even if Monte and I didn't work out, this is where I wanted to be, which is why it was important for me to get my own place and be established and all that stuff. I do not recommend picking everything up, leaving for a man, and now there's all that pressure in the relationship, especially if you move in together. Now you're going to be homeless. Now maybe he's going to feel awkward, like kicking you out because he's like, well, I don't want to be a jerk. She said, I'm open to moving myself depending on the city. Yeah. And here's the thing, ladies. When you will move, she said, "Oh, thank you, love." I knew she'd come through. I was hoping you'd come through as my scribe. Thank you. Um, when you move, take ownership of the fact you're doing this. Take ownership of the fact that it's a risk and make it a calculated risk and say, okay, Will I love my life outside of this guy? Which you should do where you live anyway. You should love your life outside of the guy so that if the guy ends, this having the guy ends, you're still okay. You're still happy. But this is what I wanted to say. We have to sometimes, I think, shake it up. I really think we have to shake it up sometimes and go with, the Holy Spirit's leading, go with your intuition. But where I was living, I was geographically undesirable. I was literally, I had moved because there was an opportunity to save money. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this full time and having low expenses is great. Low overhead is great. And I ended up moving to a place that was so remote, I couldn't even order food. Like literally, you couldn't order food. You couldn't get an Uber. It was remote. Hated it. It made it impossible to date. And there weren't even really black guys in that area. And that's my demographic. So for me, I was like, the type of men I like are in these areas. Why not set myself up for success and relocate? I tell people who I coach, if you're not seeing the people in the routine that you have, change your routine. If you don't go to the gym, start going to a gym. There are tons of men there. Like, we cannot be so passive sometimes that we just miss our blessings, right? Not that you can actually miss a blessing if God has it for you, but I'm just saying people took action in the Bible. People did things. They went. They didn't just sit in a little tent somewhere. They went out and did things. And then as they were going, things happened. She said, I have no kids, so nothing is holding me in this current city. Definitely find a job in a community of people. Love it. What's tough is I've already uprooted my son. He's in high school. That's a tough age to move. Oh, definitely difficult in high school years. Okay, what was I talking about here? I think that's pretty much everything, you guys. So let me just recap the two things that you want to take note of. Two things: Dallas event, Dallas event, Dallas event, April 26th. April 26th. Okay, imagine music, drinks, food. There's a full kitchen, indoor, outdoor space, kind of like hole in the wall vibe. There's a whole patio set up. It's just gonna be a vibe. It's gonna be relaxing. A lot of singles. So guys, if you're you're single, make sure you come. Tell your friends who are single. If you're not single, you're still welcome to come. We will have the little bracelets so people know who's who. You don't get yourself in trouble. Thank you so much for scribing for me. I appreciate it. So Dallas event, April. I said April 26th. August 26th. Sorry, love. A Dallas event, August 26th, this this month. And what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh, and my webinar, the one I've been talking about this whole time, this one is going to happen the last day of the month, August 31st. August 31st at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. So August 31st Central Standard Time, that's a Thursday. And if you cannot make it to the live session, which kind of sucks because we do have fun, you still can get the replay if you have already reserved your seat. So reserve your seat now. And for the month of August, everyone who signs up in the month of August, because the replay will be available later, but those who sign up for the live session, you guys will get half off of the other webinars that I've done, if that's something that you've already been wanting to get. She said her birthday is 8/31. Are you near Dallas? Birthday girl. Okay, I just see if it's a girl or guy. The pictures are so small. Let me know if you're near Dallas. If you are near Dallas, we'll definitely have to celebrate you. Oh, wait, that's not my event date. That's the webinar date. If you come to the webinar, we will sing happy birthday to you. She said you got to have an event in April. Now, absolutely. My birthday's in April, so I absolutely have to have an April event. So make sure you guys do that, okay? And last but not least, the free coaching sessions. The free coaching sessions, which I should probably put in my YouTube video as well. The link there. I'll have to go back and delete it. But sign up for the free coaching sessions. 4 have already been given away. Okay, it's not cheap. 4 have been given away. She said who won. Her name was. I posted it on YouTube, on Instagram. Oh, her name is slipping my mind. I can see her face. I can't see her name. But I posted the clip where she found out she won. She was watching live. It was really cool. So we're going to do the same thing. Oh, Andrea's April baby too. Nice. She won, and it was cool because I wanted the person to be live and watching while we did the giveaway, and Willie, the sponsor, he was on there. So that was really cool that she won. And then the other 3 went to the woman who started this whole thing, who was saying she was saving up for coaching sessions. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, 4 more sessions. Willie is getting 4 more sessions, and 3 of them are going to go to people who are at my Dallas event. We're going to actually get the names while we're at the Dallas event. 1 is going to just go to anyone so that it's fair for people who are everywhere. So you enter, thank you. I never finished my sentence. I get like squirrel. Go to my Instagram story today. I will repost it. And if I haven't done it in the next like 2 minutes, someone DM me and be like, girl, you forgot. But I'm gonna post the link to where you can go. It's just a little form and you can fill in your information. And then from there I pick the name. Okay. So I'll probably pick the name the day of the event, August 26th. I'll pick the event live for the people who sign up, and then the people who are there, then we'll go offline and do that one in person. So I will post that info. Actually, you know what? I can probably put it here. I'll put it in the chat. You guys can click links from the chat, right? This is why I like me on YouTube, because you can just click stuff on your computer. All right, so that's how you fill it out. Submit your information there, and that's it. Did you guys enjoy this? Did you enjoy this conversation? Hey, Instagram. Feel free to go, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you liked this on Instagram, because I'm closing now, so you have nothing to lose. Can you go over to YouTube and click the like button on this? Because it really, really helps my analytics. It lets people know that this is the type of content that people need to see. Kat says, I had my sister follow you. I love that. I'll have her try out for the coaching. Thank you so much. Let me know. Drop a heart if you enjoyed this. If you really enjoyed it, go to my YouTube. I'll just stay on for like another 60 seconds so you guys can hit that button. Just don't hit the chat box, because then you won't be able to see the button. But I would really appreciate it if you could go over there. Brenda said we did. Blessing said definitely. Camila said yes. Blessing said filling out mine now. Yay! 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 Enter to win. Enter to win. Enter to win. I missed most of your live, but I enjoyed what I was able to see. Thank you. Oh, okay. Well, it is available on YouTube, so you can go and watch it on YouTube. She said going now. I had a client, by the way, I just want to brag on one of my coaching clients. She just let me know yesterday she lost over 70 pounds, and I'm so excited. This girl is gorgeous. Personality on 10. And she just lost 70 pounds. This is going to be a game changer. I love seeing women be the best versions of themselves. It's awesome. I was talking about the August meet and greet. Sorry. Oh. Thank you. Literally said, how do we sign up for the event? And I'm like, oh, signing up for coaching. So the Dallas event. Okay, so let me do this. This is enter to win coaching session. That's that link. And then this is to sign up for the Dallas event. Thank you for clarifying, girl, because I was on the struggle bus. Okay. Register for the Dallas event. Boom. All right, there we go. So hopefully that helps you guys. So anyone who's watching, I put it in the chat. So you have to open up the chat to get the 2 links. I think that's it. Okay. All right, guys. So, I'm tripping. So those are the links to enter to win the coaching and to the Dallas event. But tell me again really quickly, how many of you are signing up for the webinar? I might do something special for you guys, those of you who sign up today. But whoever's signing up for today, let me know. Drop me a comment, say me, because I want to try to remember your names. And I might, don't hold me to this, I might do something special for you guys during the actual live webinar. It might be that you guys get prioritized. That's what I'll do. I'll prioritize you guys with the Q&A. You guys will get bumped to the front of the line because I don't always get to everyone. So comment me if you plan on getting the webinar, and I will keep you guys in the front of the line. I'll probably have you DM me. Camila says, I'm going to look into it now. Perfect. Tamala says, yes. Okay. Tamala, Camila. Actually, let me write these names down. Blessings. I don't know if that was you saying that. Okay. So we have B. Wilson. I'll forget, y'all. Tamala, Camila, Sovereigness. Thank you, girl. You're so sweet with always taking notes for me. So DM me. Actually, the price is on there. The reason why I don't like to give the prices on here is because yesterday's prices are not at today's prices. And so oftentimes the price changes. I'll do specials and things like that. And I don't want someone to be like, what you said? But I'll give you an idea. It's around the cost of, I would say, less than you would spend on dinner. Definitely less than he would spend on dinner. Okay. Oh, Brit. Okay, perfect. That is Brit. Anyone else planning to attend, we're going to bump you to the front of the line. Oh, Andrea. I hope I'm saying your name right. Andrea. Oh, my bad. I'm not looking over your Instagram. Love me some KP. Some KP. She said yes. Hey, Jamie. Nice to see you. So everyone who's planning on doing the August webinar, comment now because I'll bump you guys up to VIP for the actual webinar. Do you need my government name? If you DM me on Instagram, then I won't. DM me on Instagram, but I have you as Blessings B right now. Blessings B on YouTube, but I don't know what it is on Instagram. Kamitria, okay, perfect. Kamitria. All right. Okay, ladies. So I got your names down. If you guys get your stuff today, reserve your spot today, then perfect. Then I will put you at the front of the line for the webinar. And remember, you get 50% off both of my other um, webinars. So basically, it's like buy one get one free at that point. What's the date I just got on here? Oh, the date for the webinar is August 31st, the very last day of the month. It's a Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. The replay will be available to anyone who purchases their seat. And if you're in the Dallas area or can get to the Dallas area, August 26th, which is a Saturday, I am hosting an event. Monte and I are hosting an event. Happiest Tuesdays. Oh, thank you. Sending you much love. Consistency looks gorgeous on you. Oh, words of affirmation come through, Supermodel Jazz. Thank you. All right, y'all. So I'm officially signing off. I said I've been signing off. I'm signing off now. You guys can watch the replay on YouTube if you missed it. Okay? Talk to you later. All right. Signing off here. And I will see y'all later. Thank you for joining.